Hey traders, John Howell here, and in today's video I'm going to be covering the S&P 500, the Dow, the Nasdaq. Also I'll be covering the silver and gold and also the GDX and GDXJ as well too, and just share with you what I see and why it's going to surprise. It will surprise everyone what I'm seeing here in the markets. And then also what I'm also going to do, guys, is that I've heard so many people say that they're losing a lot of money in the markets right now. And they're just struggling to get ahead. They're actually struggling to get any sort of foothold into the market. So I've actually created a bit of a breakthrough trader guide that I'm going to share with you today in this video. And I'm going to walk you through the steps that if you are struggling in the markets right now and you're losing money, I'm going to share with you what you need to do to get back on track so you can continue moving forward with these markets. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into today. Before I start, guys, make sure you go to johnsflashsale.com. I'm running a $7 flash sale to this entire trading course. And as I was saying at the start of this video, if you're struggling, this video number 1, which is the top deadly mistakes, there's 13 biggest mistakes that most traders make that stops them from making any progress in the markets. That video number 1 is worth the $7 alone. Let alone all the chart reading techniques, two trading systems, mindset techniques, so on and so forth. So johnsflashsale.com, go there right now, $7. Now let's have a look at what the S&P is doing. Now, the first thing I want to bring up is this fear and greed index, is because you can see here where we are. We're at this sort of into this greed section where we are, and this greed section is it's getting almost into the extreme greed, but we're not there yet. And if I go down to, you can see this one says this one here is extreme greed, extreme greed, extreme greed. Okay, so you've got the put and call option is extreme greed. During the last 5 trading days, volume in the put options has lagged volume in call options up by 55% as investors make bullish bets in their portfolios. Okay, interesting. So they're making a lot of bullish bets here. This is amongst the lowest level of put options buying seen during the last 2 years, indicating extreme greed on the part of investor side. So last change from July 1 from a greed rating. So right now we've got extreme greed from this here. If we look at the stock market breadth, I won't go into the detail of all this here. That's actually a very big indicator, the call and put options. We also can see that we have extreme greed for that one there. We also have junk bonds with the extreme greed indicator. We have the market momentum, which is greed. We have stock prices, which is greed. We also have the safe haven, which is greed. And then we also have market volatility, which is neutral. So I believe we're getting, with all this greed, and we're getting sort of 50% of these indicators that make up this fear and greed index to tell you where are we right now in the markets. What this is telling me is that we're getting very close to some sort of a topping pattern in the markets. And if I scroll right down, you can see that this indicator right here that we have down the bottom here is when most people are very, very fearful. And this is when most people are greedy. Now, when most people are fearful, that's a buying opportunity. When most people are greedy, that's a get the hell out of the market opportunity. And we're not there yet, but I do believe probably over the next, over the next, maybe week or two, we may even get up into this 80 to 90 zone up here. And this is when this whole level up through this section through here is indeed a level that you want to be careful of. So we're getting 50% of it getting to the extreme greed, especially this call and put options here. The last time this happened, you can see what happened back here. You can see what happened back here just before the whole virus situation happened. This here is what happened with the actual stock market. People were buying a lot of call options in the market. Makes me actually want to go buy some put options, but I'm not going to be that stupid. So looking at the S&P 500, if I bring up the S&P 500 right here and I zoom in, I can see that we're getting very, very close to, oops, where did that go? Where did that go? This one right here, there we go. So I can see that we are getting very, very close to the all-time new high. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see the S&P 500 break above here, because above these highs, up the top here, up the top through here, which is around through this level through here, there's going to be a lot of stops up here. So the market's probably likely to run up and flush them to the upside. So if I was an intraday trader, I'd be watching really, really carefully to try to get like a bit of a bullish move, because there's a very good chance they're going to flush it to the upside, and that could be a bit of a buying opportunity. Now, I'm not saying just go and buy the markets, because that's definitely going to happen. No. What I would be doing if I was trading the intraday charts like the Sp500, I'll be like, okay, the market's going to push soon, and the market's going to go for a run soon. We're having a bit of a pullback. If we could start to get like a bit of a break above the high, then that actually may be a nice quick short-term trade for me. So, but I don't trade intraday. I'm sleeping. So that's what I'm seeing there through everyone. It will surprise everyone, and why I'm saying that is because what's likely to happen is that once that happens, we're seeing that the Dow Jones, the S&P, the Nasdaq is also very, 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 very high as well too. So I see that fear and greed index, we're starting to get 50% indicator saying extreme greed and 50% indicator saying greed. Over the next week, I believe we're probably likely to push a lot of those into the extreme greed, and that's when you're probably likely to see a very strong sell-off. Not a market, I wouldn't say a crash like we saw in the virus situation. So back through. I don't think we're likely to see this, but I do see we're probably likely to rally up and then have a nice pullback overall in the markets to get things back to equilibrium where we are right now. Moving on now through to gold, we can see gold actually came right down to my trend line, right down. We did get, look at that massive flash right down to my trend line and bounced to where we are. Now, on a short-term basis, guys, long-term, what I mean over the next 5 years, I'm massively bullish on gold, okay? So that's my say with that. But on a short-term basis, guys, over the next sort of maybe couple of weeks, what you would want to watch for is that if we start to continue doing small bars through here, as you can see, we're starting to not do much. We have a very good chance of actually breaking down and start to spend a bit of time to the downside. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. We haven't actually gotten that yet. So that's what I'm seeing through there when it comes to silver. Sorry, my bad. Gold. And then also silver, once again, is also, if I bring up my trend line from there through to there, you can see that's the overall trend line. So there's probably a really good chance that silver is probably going to head down towards this 21 level here. And start to head down towards this level through there. We can see this overall major resistance. I just did it again, didn't I? There we go here. This, you're just seeing, let me just bring up this here. Where are we? Here, there we go. All right, so we're seeing, let me bring up this. We're seeing that there's a lot of resistance all through there. If I bring up my weekly chart on the silver, we can see that there's actually probably a bit of resistance up through there. That's the sort of the major resistance around that sort of 20 to 22 level. So if I go to my daily chart once again, you can see there's probably a bit of support now. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see silver actually have a bit more of a pullback out of this here and then continue up. Again, I'm long-term bullish. I'm actually in silver for long-term, guys. So short-term, we may get a pullback. Long-term, I'm massively bullish. And same for the GDX and GDXJ. If I just focus on the GDXJ, this is one market that I'm really liking as well. If I bring this up through to here, you can see that we're actually right at that level of support now. I'm not in GDXJ, but I'm looking to get into it for a longer term position because I do see this movement from where we are here. We're just breaking. We see how it's done nothing here. There's an analogy in the markets called the calming effect before the storm. And this is exactly what gold did, is exactly what GDX did, even the silver market did. And what I mean by that is that, let me actually go back to here. Actually, let me just bring this section up through here. This is actually a squeezed up section of silver, gold, GDX, and GDXJ. And you can see what I'm saying through here. Down the bottom left, this is gold weekly. This is the calming period before the storm. Calm before the storm. This is a calm on the GDXJ. This is a weekly chart. Before the storm. Now, I know you can't see the numbers here, but don't forget the numbers. Forget what I can't say them. Who cares about the numbers, okay? I'm trying to teach you a pattern, an overall pattern, what happens on a larger scale. And you can see this is the weekly chart here on gold. This is the weekly chart here on silver, weekly chart here on GDX, and the weekly chart here on the GDXJ. And you can see here that we've had a very big sort of calming effect here on the GDXJ, and we're just starting to break out now. And as you can see, once gold started to break out, we spent a good couple of years moving to the upside. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. And that's the reason why I'm very, very long-term bullish, especially on the GDXJ through here. And once again, you can see that what I'm talking about there, that every time on gold, we've got a calming period, nice sideways for a long time. Like, what's that there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and then a breakout. And then we had this same thing for silver, right? We had 1, 2, probably say 6 or 7 years, same thing. Then we got a breakout, a big move. I believe this big move, you can see what happened when gold broke out when gold broke out here, we're at all-time new highs now. Silver's just broken out, and this is all-time new highs up here. So I wouldn't be too surprised, excuse me, I wouldn't be too surprised to see silver up through there. And same for the GDX and GDXJ as well too. So as for the SIL and SILJ guys, I haven't really been focusing on that too much because they've just been, they haven't been producing very good patterns for me. And all my trading is done based on patterns. So on a long-term basis, guys, long-term basis for SIL and SILJ, I'm not really interested in any of that. On a long-term basis, mainly for the probably silver and the GDXJ for longer-term sort of trades for me. But on a short-term basis, there's obviously opportunities to trade SIL and SILJ. So I hope that makes sense for this. So what I want to do right now is I want to bring up and as I said before, I want to talk about a breakthrough trader guide for you, because I know trading is hard, right? Trading is really, really, really difficult. And the hardest thing about trading is firstly understanding the path ahead. Like, okay, how do I actually really get ahead in the markets? A lot of traders right now are getting lucky in the markets, but then on the flip side, I've been getting emails and messages saying, you know, I'm down this week and so on and so forth. So I really want to neutralize your journey when it comes to you being a trader. If you want to be part of this trading world, if you want to do well out of trading, then this is a bit of a breakthrough guide that I'm going to share with you, because this breakthrough guide will start to get you on the right path. And if you follow it, then you have a very good high probability chance of doing really well for the rest of your life out of trading, not just a quick short-term thing. So the breakthrough trader guide is all about this. The very first thing that we need to be doing when we are trading the markets is the very first thing for you to become a professional trader is to find one pattern, aka trading setup. What is the trading setup that you are following? What does it look like? What goes into what are the rules within that trading setup? If you don't have this one thing here, you can forget your trading career, because it's not about being lucky. If you want to be a trader, that is, okay? Investing is a completely different thing. Investing is buy and hold for many years. A trader is you're trying to trade for an active income. So the very first thing that you need is you need to find one pattern, or aka trading setup, for you to focus on. And it doesn't matter what that setup is. And there's plenty of setups out there. Once again, if you go to my johnsflashstyle.com, there's a couple of different trading systems there. It doesn't matter. Just pick one. Just pick one that you like, okay? And one that you resonate with. And so, because if you don't have anything that you're going on that's going to give you the edge in the markets, then you are just running around like a headless chook, and you're guaranteed to lose all your money. Guaranteed. Oh, but John, you don't understand, because I've been making a lot of money. I've been buying the market. It's been going up. You've been lucky, okay? If you are doing well right now without any rhyme or reason, you're just buying the market, it's going up, you're in a bit of a bullish period right now. What happens when the market goes through a bit of a doo-doo again? That's right, doo-doo again. So the very first thing is, what pattern, what are you actually looking for? So with my private clients that I have, I'm saying, this is what I'm looking for in a trading setup. I'm looking for this in a trading setup. Here are the rules. So if you don't have that one thing, then go find it. And there is no best strategy out there, by the way, guys. There's thousands of strategies out there that work. And see, 95% of your success in markets doesn't come from the strategy. 5% comes from the strategy. Because the 95% is you doing what? You be able to follow that system. And if you can't follow the system, that's where the 90% of you guys are watching right now, that's where you're going wrong right now. You are trading all over the place. You're buying gold because you think it's a good idea. You're buying the market because you think it's a good idea. You watched a YouTube video, so you went and bought this stock and that stock and this stock. There's no probability. You're a raging lunatic in the market. No wonder you're going to keep losing all your money long term. Oh, but John, you don't understand. My account's up. I've just made $15,000 in this last week, John. You don't understand. I don't give a damn how much money you made. All I care about is what can you do for the rest of your life. And if you can make a quick little short buck every now and then, promise you it's going to come steaming down on you big time. So let's define the one trading setup there. What is your one trading setup? Now, once you have that setup, you've done that. What you need to do is you need to go back test all the Sp500 stocks. If you want to be a professional trader in the markets where you have confidence in your trading system and you have confidence that you're going to never, ever, ever have to starve ever again because you know this system works for you throughout the years and throughout the year, then you have to do this. This is the work that goes into professional trader. If you're not willing to do this, then don't even trade. Now the flip side is that if you're willing to do this, this is how you see traders go from $20,000 trading account to $3 million, to becoming a 7-figure trader and so on and so forth. Now it takes many years to get to there, but what do? They have confidence in the system. How do you have confidence in the system? The problem that you have is that even if you sign up to my coaching program or even the johnsflashsale.com for $7, what is the biggest issue there? The biggest issue is that I'm teaching you a system, but you have no confidence in that. The only way you're going to build confidence in that is for you to go over it again and again and again and again. Building confidence in the system is the number one success that you're going to have, and not relying on let the other people tell me if it's a good buy or not, because that's a lot of radish. Professional traders don't do that. They buy or sell because they know it's a high probability pattern based on their trading setup. So once you've done that, then you got to figure out what is your win-loss ratio, because bit of a newsflash for you newbies in the markets, there is a win-loss ratio. That means sometimes when you put a trade on, you're going to have a losing trade within that system. And sometimes you're going to have a profits. So stop trying to be right with that system or pattern. And figure out what is the average win-loss ratio that you have. How many trades do you get over the year? So through the Sp500, how many trades did you get by backtesting all that through 2018? How many trades did you get through 2019? How many trades have you gotten through this year? And so on and so forth. You got to go back and figure out, okay, how many trades on average do you get? And what's the win-loss ratio? And then you start to figure out, okay, then where is my stop? Where's my entry? And so on and so forth. Now, what you want to do is you want to build a library of all the trades. So the reason why you want to build a library, which means as soon as you see a trade on the charts, even if it's a losing trade, take a screenshot and put into a folder. Take a screenshot, put into a folder. Because what you're doing is you're building a library of all these trades that meet your plan. That's building confidence for you. No one can give you the confidence, and if you're not willing to put the work in, then you're not going to do well in the markets. Now I promise you this, that if you're willing to work really hard at this thing called trading and do the right things, which means put the work in like I'm talking about here, on the other side, the markets can reward you more financially than any other possible job out there. I promise you that, guys. I promise you. Okay. Now, once you've figured all this out, and you've done your back testing, now you want to start trading live. You want to start trading live and you want to start trading with 2% risk on your account on any given one trade. Now, when you start trading live, you're going to totally screw up. You're going to screw up big time. You're going to take trades you know you shouldn't. You're going to take trades you know you shouldn't. You're going to put on too much of a count on one trade. You're going to get out because you're going to be fearful of having a loss, and it's going to run on for a profit, even though the stop wasn't triggered. You're going to get out too early for a profit, where even though when the market said, hold on to your profits and let them run, or whatever your system is. So you're going to make a lot of mistakes there. See how it's nothing to do with the system, everything to do with you. So this is where recording, reviewing, and improving. The number one thing you can do is record every trade you take. As you start the trade, record every trade. It means you put into a spreadsheet. And then every week and every month, you want to review that and say, okay, where do I need to improve on? Where am I going wrong with this one system? See what I'm doing here? I'm focusing on this one system alone. Now, what is this one system? This one system is whatever system you choose out there. There is no right system out there. There is no absolutely perfect system that's going to make you money every time. So stop looking for it. There is no holy grail out there. And now, by the way, if you're trading a trend following system, that's probably the best system out there, and that's what I strongly recommend. But recording, reviewing, and improving. The reason why is because we don't even know what we're doing wrong. But if you can sit back and see all the trades you take within this one system, you're like, oh, well, I'm still finding 50% of the trades. You might find, okay, well, I'm finding 50% of the trades I'm taking is not even with the system. Okay, well, I've got to start to get better at just only taking those trades. I'm trading too much. Okay, the next time might be, okay, I'm trading too much of account, and so therefore I'm being very, very fearful. I'm getting out when I shouldn't. And then all you want to do is you want to keep getting better and become a master at one thing. See, you'll find that majority of the major successful traders out there, guess what? And I have the privilege and honor to be coached by multiple seven-figure traders, multiple between $5 and $10 million. Guess what they have? One powerful trading system, and they just keep trading it and trading it and trading it and trading it. Some months they have maybe 1 or 2 trades, and then next month they might have 4 or 5 trades. You see what I'm saying there? So, and then that now brings on another layer of the myth of more trades. You think you need a lot of trades to make a lot of money, where if you have a lot of trades, it's probably going to lose you a lot of money. And so remember, you are paid to wait. The biggest thing that you have problems with is sitting on your hands and not doing anything as the market's moving. That's the hardest thing for you. And do you find, see all this sort of stuff here has nothing to do with the trading system. See, the problem is never. The reason why 90% of you lose money in the market is because you don't even follow our system 100% of the time. That's the bottom line. If you did, you would have a really good trading system. Means you have good risk management and so on and so forth. So the way that, and I really want to neutralize your journey. The way that your trading works is this: you may down the bottom here is where you're starting. And you may start a trading system, you might buy a trading system, you might start to get good at that. You might start to make some progress. But what happens, what's inevitable, what's going to happen with that? You're going to start to run into a bit of problems. Your problems might be that you might be losing money. You might be taking too many trades. You might be putting too much money on per trade. You're going to run into problems here. And so with that problem, most traders are, oh, this trading system's not for me. And then they go find something else and they go do it again and again and again. And they never end up move forward. Wrong. You find out what the problem is. Remember I said before, record, review, and improve. Now you figure out, okay, what is the problem? I'm losing money here. Why am I going backwards here? Let's actually figure this out. Let's go to the spreadsheet of all the trades I'm taking. And that's the reason why it's important to record every trade you take and review them. And then what you want to do is you want, okay, what do I need to do to improve? What do I need to start doing now this week to start to improve, to start getting better? What am I doing wrong here that's caused me to go backwards? What am I actually doing right that's actually doing really well? And let's actually start to massage that so I can actually start to focus more on the things I'm doing well. That's helping to actually make money, and the stuff that I'm not doing well, let's actually stop doing that. And maybe you are taking good trades with the trading system, but you're trading way too much of your account, and that's causing you to be emotional. And before you know it, you are getting in and getting out really, really quickly. And so once you know what to do to improve, you probably go back to the market. You're patient. And then you go back to making progress again. And this is the cycle. And this actually happens again and again and again. You see, let's actually just create this star here for a minute. This star here right now, let's say this is your actual overall trading goal. Say your trading goal is to make 6 figures a year. You know what, Johnny, if I could do 100 grand a year from trading, let's say 100 grand a year from trading. I didn't say $8,000 a month. There's a big difference because that's not how trading works. Some months you might make 5 grand. Next month you might lose 2 grand. Next month you might be up 20 grand. You see, that's how trading works. And you've got to understand that process. But how your trading journey is this: once you start to focus on one system and start to get much better at that system, then your journey is going to look something like this. Remember I said before about the circle, where you start to make progress, then you go through a bit of a dip again. You go make progress, you go through a bit of a dip again. Go through progress, this and this and this. And this is the reason why most traders don't actually do well, because every time they start to go through these down periods through here, where there's a problem where they need to improve and then go back up. Problem, improve, go back up. Problem, improve, go back up. Problem, improve. And you'll see how you're slowly getting better, closer and closer and closer every time you go through these interventions. Because remember, guys, you're focusing on one system and becoming a master at that. Most traders, they may start down the bottom here. They get to this problem point down here. Here's the problem. They don't even think about trying to figure it improve. They think it's got nothing to do with them and everything to do with the system. Then they go do it again. I call it the cracked circle of doom. if you're part of the cracked circle of doom right now, you are doomed. Meaning, if you start a system right here, you buy a system, you try it for a little bit, it does well, you start losing money, you say the system sucks, you go buy another system, and you go buy another system, and another system, and another system, and another system. So you're not going anywhere. And 5 years later, you're still stuck at where you are right now, where the average the top traders, they figure out what the pattern is, what the setup is, and how do I get better at trading that pattern? How do I be consistent? How do I be patient? How do I stick to the rules? How do I let my profits run? How do I cut my losses short within that one system? And this is your journey. And so 5 years from now, 2025, you're going to arrive at a level, or you're going to arrive somewhere. You could arrive at a 6-figure trader. You could arrive at a 7-figure trader for what I just shared with you. Or you could just be spinning your wheels and say, the market's not for me. Which the market's for everyone. It really is. I truly believe that. Because there's different systems out there. Now, for me personally, I don't like trading intraday. I like trading the daily chart, which means I get in today and I hold it for sometimes a few weeks, sometimes for a few months. That's sort of my style of trading. And that's how I do much better from there. So anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video here. If you follow this process of what I've talked about today in today's video, then you'll start to see massive progress over the years, especially once you start to go through that record R, review R, improve. Once you start to know what your one system is, and then you start to fill in a spreadsheet every time you take a trade, which means just the details of the trade. And so then maybe say after 1 month later, you can go back to all these trades and then go back and check them all out and see what actually happened after you got out and so on and so forth. And then that's when you can start to improve, which is down the bottom here. And you can go back through the circle again. You can improve and improve and improve and improve and improve. That's how you're going to. That's the circle of life. Life is cycles, and you're going to go through these cycles. And as long as you're staying on the path to doing these cycles to get better at trading the system, then you're going to kick ass in the next 5 years. If not, you are absolutely doomed.